are depressed. We're
All
here.
right, we're here.
Wait,
All right.
wait, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
I was like, is what's in the title actually what we're going to talk about?
Oh no,
Michael,
no. I mean,
Michael Jackson and Stephen
I
A.
mean, was there something else missing?
I don't think so,
No. I think that's okay. Look, let's because there's so much stuff I want to say about
bro.
MJ.
Your
Let's,
mic. Can I get you to turn your mic down like 15%, maybe
Is
even
it better
10%.
now?
It's a bit more manageable. Yes.
okay, wait, hold on. Because I think I've moved here. It's okay. So let me put it to your level now. Yeah, that should be good. So better now.
I guess, but you tell me about me. But anyway, you go.
Yeah. So look, I think let's start lighter with like the main course is MJ because I've got so much stuff to say about MJ. So let's start light with Stephen A.
So
I saw the whole video.
no. So originally we were going to do this a while back, and it was
Yes.
just Stephen A. getting into politics. So there's a
Politics,
lot to
which-
talk about with
Oh no,
Stephen
there's a
A.
lot.
Based on
Okay,
what's
there's a lot to
happened.
unpack. Okay, look. Okay, so let's start. Let's go recent. Then we can go far back. So if we go recent, so Michelle Beadle, who I actually do remember her, because it's like, again, you know how they say all black people look the same, all white women look the same, bro. I don't care what anyone says. DiCaprio and Brad Pitt is the same person. DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, those guys, the same people. And Michelle Beadle. And do you watch Road Tripping with
No.
what's the name of that guy on LeBron's team of the Cavs? Bald head, looks like the blacker Val Kilmer. Bald head. Basically, LeBron's teammates, light skin, bald head.
He plays on the LA Lakers.
No. He's retired. He's retired now. Wait.
Then I have no idea.
Oh wait. Oh, okay. Wait. Hold on. No. I've got. This is Richard Jefferson.
Okay.
Yes, Richard. So basically, it's Richard Jefferson. I can't remember the other
That's
guy.
a random LeBron teammate, dog.
No, I know it's. Wait, it's basically,
Richard Jefferson should be like Jason Kidd,
yeah,
Vince
I know.
Carter.
So basically, it's Richard Jefferson. It's
Yeah.
Channing Frye,
Yeah. Okay.
and then it's this lady known as Ali Clifton. I swear this lady looks like Michelle Beadle. So I thought they were the same person. I was like,
you
but
know,
same-
Carissa Thompson could be the
bro,
same
you
person.
they could all blend together. So my thing though
They
is
could all
this,
be
that
the
look.
same.
So I know this is linked into the whole rice thing, but okay, this is the best place to start because I know that we are both from religious backgrounds. You know, basically Africa tax. How do you receive when someone says, "I pray for your downfall"?
I mean, it's rude, but I get what she meant by it, and because she couched it in saying like, "Bro, I'm not even religious like that."
Yes. No,
So I'm
that's
praying on the
key.
downfall means that basically I'm wishing that he falls off. That's what she means by that. I'm wishing that he falls off. But she used pray, and once you use pray for someone, I think Stephen A. is religious.
Yes.
He's going to take that in a particular way. And every black person who hears that, or every religious person who hears that, is going to take it in a particular way. Like,
100%.
praying on my downfall.
Praying on your downfall is insane.
Like you're going to sleep at night. Like, and, you know, if I die before I wake, please, I forget the rhyme.
my soul to keep.
My soul to take or whatever. And also, fuck Stephen A. And I hope he goes down. I'm like,
No, because here's my thing. Though.
Like, be serious.
Actually, no, let's just stay here a bit.
if I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take.
Or soul to keep. God,
Which is very
Allah,
morbid,
Buddha, or anyone. Is that a prayer that you would want to listen to or answer? If let's say a prayer that, I pray for X, Y, and Z's downfall, is that an actual? Should that even be a prayer?
It reveals more about yourself than what you're praying about. That's number one. Number two, you remember Bruce Almighty?
Yes.
Where he just it was it Bruce Almighty where it's
With
Jim
Jim Carrey.
Carrey and he becomes God, and it's almost like he gets the prayers in email form, and
yeah.
he just says okay to everything, and it kind of messes up Earth.
Oh, okay.
I do feel like some prayers go to the spam folder. This is just junk. This is like where heaven's servers are not even going to address this properly.
No, no. That's
And
not
if somebody's
good to spam.
like, God, I pray that you kill this person. God, I pray that you ruin this person financially. God, I pray that you kill this person's kids. Like, Once you go that crazy, I feel like it just goes to the spam folder.
You have
It's
to go
like
to spam.
it's the no, just forgive me. It's the Nigerian prince scam of email. It's just oh, I have money for you. It goes straight to spam.
Why is Nigeria getting strays, bro?
Yahoo Yahoo. One of those must have actually been true. Somebody is really out there like, bro, I need a little bit of money to unlock more money.
None of them are true. None of them.
It was never true. Never, not
No,
once.
no, there was what I like. Shout out to your boy Hush Puppy, who I think
He
is like
said
the
it was
goat
all a
scammer.
lie. Anyway,
So I
so
think
yeah,
Hush Puppy is the
so
scam-
the point is like preying on someone's downfall. I don't feel like even if you believe in the kind of mystical, spectral stuff, I wouldn't think those are taken seriously. In fact, I think they probably do more to harm the person who prays it than the person that actually is the intended target.
Yeah. No. So basically, my thing though is look,
If karma's real.
like I'm not a Stephen A fan now. I'm not. So I went from being a huge, massive Stephen to the point where, so this is like early 2010s. So when he had a hairline on First Take, and he was like, because bro, I remember when he was a guest on First Take.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Well,
With,
it was-
with Jay Crawford was the host.
That's the guy, Jay Crawford and Skip and Steve would just come in with his bright yellow suits and just come in and this one he had full hair and head of hair. So bro, I remember when the guy was a guest, and I was such a fan that I used to listen to his own radio show because it was him. I think something Rucco. It was him and this other
Ryan
New Yorker,
Rucco. Was
Ryan
it?
Rucco, and they did their own. They did like.
Or is it Ryan Russo?
It might be
Rucco,
Ryan Russo.
Rucco.
Is it Russo or Rucco?
There's two of them.
Yeah. So
Or
basically-
is it Rusillo?
No, it's not. No, I know
Okay,
Russillo. I
Russo,
know him.
okay,
I
okay,
know.
okay,
It's
okay.
not Russillo. It's
So
definitely
then
not
it's
Russillo.
then it's Rucco.
Rucco. So I used to listen to his radio show on New York every single time. I was like, man, this guy. And again, so think about the timeline. This is late 2000s, early 2010s. The first ever Football Hot video was in 2010. So Stephen A. Smith and Skip was
can-
a
you
huge...
can connect the dots.
Oh,
Connect the
no.
dots.
They were a massive impact because for me, my whole mind was, bro, imagine if you could talk with the same kind of passion and fervor about football that the way they go about. Because again, living in England, football analysis is very dry, very vanilla, very like, oh yes, I've got blah blah blah.
Sunday supplement.
Sunday, so nothing.
Yeah.
So it's okay, boom. But I feel that what you're saying from Stephen A. Smith. Okay, look. Before we even get there, is where are you with the Beadle thing? Do you agree or disagree? Because I think that I'm sorry, like you're being trashy. And when Stephen A. Smith broke down her whole career, you're being trashy.
I understand from both sides, even if I don't agree with either. So how it's gone, I understand, but like I'm not in either camp. I'm just like, oh, that's an interesting situation for people on YouTube, like we are, to discuss. From the Beatles side, I understand. Like once Stephen A. Smith said that thing about, let's be honest, or I don't have the exact quotes, but I'm paraphrasing, like some women provoke men into hitting them after Ray Rice decked his wife in that elevator and drug her out of the elevator. If you're a woman who is either sensitive to if you're anybody really, who's sensitive to domestic violence, who suffered domestic violence, who has been in a household where domestic violence has been a thing, and maybe Michelle Beadle has that history. I don't know her story in that way, but maybe she comes from a household where her father beat her mom, or whatever the case may be, or maybe she herself has suffered that. And I think in big 2025, it's not out of it's not out of bounds to assume that that happens to people at this point. Like we can say that if somebody said that, bro, it's your fault you're getting beaten by like a big NFL man, like come on, or anybody really. If that's her breaking point with Stephen A, like nah, like it's persona non grata. I don't give a fuck what he says from here on out. Like I don't like you because how can you say something like that? Then she's standing on business. Like I can see her principles in the sense that I'm not working with him ever. So when Stephen A's like, you were on Get Up and you didn't want me on Get Up. From that, I hear, bro. So she stood on her principles, even when it disaffected her career. Like it wasn't good for her to get kicked off of ESPN or to put her Get Up hostship in danger by not accepting Stephen A. Smith's kind of rising tide lifts all boats personality. Like she stood on her principle that what he said was beyond bounds for me, and I don't rock with him because of that.
And she has made this clear all the time that is her breaking points.
Yeah, like I don't think she's not hidden it, and in every example that she's given, it's adversely affected her. But
I'm saying that is not that clip that was put out and everything. It wasn't wrapped around like I don't like him because of X, Y, and Z. It comes across as envy. And I'm just judging of Stephen Smith. And also, my thing is also that Stephen Smith also made the points of like, no, she's known to break bridges. So don't be so quick painting her into someone who is standing on business and has a viable ground. I'm not so quick to do that.
I'm saying that whether or not I agree with her principle, I'm saying that I can see from her perspective, if that's the reason why it seems to her like she's being principled.
If that's the reason. We don't know whether that's the reason. If that's the reason.
So in that sense, when I listen to Stephen A. and he's like, bro, my career was dead and I played the game correctly to resurrect my career. What I hear him saying is, and in every beef, it's like, do I need to go get the bosses? I can go get the bosses. I know Jimmy Pitaro. I know John Skipper. I can go get the call. Like, it's like in every beef he has, it's like, do I need to go get the higher ups who I'm cool with that at every step of the way I've licked their ass? Like, so, or kissed their ass, let me say it that way. So if I'm filtering that through like, bro, so basically you're in Mass's house saying, I played it correctly. I'm here at the top of ESPN making all this money. Yes, because I work hard and I got it from the gutter and I started in high school and went to the Philadelphia Inquirer and I became one of the 21st black national columnists in America in the history of newspapers or whatever it is. Like, nope, I wouldn't question Stephen A's work ethic, which I think is the thing that Michelle Beadle got most wrong, where she questioned or put into disrepute almost why is Stephen A everywhere, and he's like, he wants to be there as if it's some crime or if it's some evil thing. It's like, nah, he has the capacity and the wherewithal to do all that work
and wants to walk.
And if he wants to do it to safeguard his own financial well-being, then that's his prerogative. But at the same time, I don't like his defense of, I played the game the right way. Well, if playing the game the right way includes just sucking up to people that, are malevolent in their own ways, like, who are you sucking up to? You know what I mean? So it just feels like he too often for me, he uses the cover of like, I'm playing this game the right way, when there's no conversation or consideration of whether the game should even be played at all.
Well, no, but then again, this is where we have to just live in the reality. The reality is that if you want to get far within an industry, there's just certain things that you have to do. And my whole thing about this video is Michelle Beadle is like, it comes more across as envy rather than standing on principle.
I don't hear it that way. I didn't feel it that way. Is that how you're interpreting?
That's how I interpret it.
Okay.
It seems more, because again, you were a massive feature, bro. I remember her on a lot of the ESPN flagship shows, and I'm like,
Sports Nation mainly.
Sports Nation gets up. I was like, wait, what happened to her? So the fact that you've sort of like, you went from being a primetime person to now you're blaming Rachel Nichols, you're blaming Stephen A. Smith, you're arguing with Greeny, where Greeny doesn't want to work with you. Like, there are too many instances of where this is more of a person who is not really professional, and other people are not viewing her as a professional, rather than, wow, you stood in business, you're standing by principle, and because you stood on principle, you lost everything. I'm with you. Nah, I'm not rolling with that, bro.
It almost reminds me of Monique You remember that whole drama
Yes, yeah.
where Monique, from her lens, can say, I did things the right way for me. Whereas everybody else from the outside is kind of like, well, if you would have gone about it a different way, you could have got a different result, rather than, you know, people coming up with this opinion that you're hard to work with, difficult to work with, and all that kind of stuff, right? So and then she has to go on this kind of reclamation tour of her career.
So look at, but again, you know that whole rant that Michelle Beadle did was because of the whole solitaire thing.
I have no idea what that is. So you can break that down.
So, yes, NBA Finals. I can't remember which game it was. And a guy on the
Stephen
internet...
A was caught. Yeah.
I said, bro, this guy's not even doing it. And then, like, I think about a month after, Stephen A just said, oh, all you guys wondering about what I was doing? I actually have a sponsorship deal with Solitaire, promoting the Solitaire brand that he was doing. And Michelle Beadle now took issue that, bro, you work for ESPN, how can you be...
It ended up being a scam. Didn't it end up being a scam or something?
I have no idea.
See, now I'm trying to filter. What didn't Mina Kimes, who's another ESPN person, she came out and apologized or something. So now I'm putting pieces together of maybe things that I know. But yeah,
no, okay. But I mean, look, I think we can just wrap that in there, because there's another angle when we look at Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
So you're viewing that she's more principled. I'm viewing it as it's more envy. I felt that, yeah. Because I'm on Stephen A. Smith's side in this whole thing, but then we're not.
I'm not on Stephen A.'s side, and I'm not on Beadle's side. I'm just like, I understand why both of you feel the way that you feel about the other one, and like it's. I understand why Beadle feels the way she does about Stephen A. Smith, because he said what he said, and that shows something about his character that she's never going to let go of. I can understand how somebody who navigated the ESPN kind of landscape the way that he did would look at somebody who failed to do it and say, well, you're just saying all of this because you're bitter and you didn't get where you wanted. And you're looking at me as somebody who did what you weren't willing to do, and now you're a hater. So that's what I can see how he sees that about her. Whereas I'm like, bro, Stephen A. Smith is an opinionist. You know what I mean? He's able to be over the top, flamboyant, disrespectful. He can get into beef with stars, and it's actually better for his brand, to where he can look down the camera at Kevin Durant and say, you don't want to make an enemy out of me, and all of that kind of stuff, right? He can square up damn near with LeBron James, and it increases his brand because it shows that his opinions are actually breaking the skin in some way. Michelle Beadle isn't really an opinionist. She's transitioned into that, but ultimately she's a host of a show. She's not she's not a former athlete in the way that like a Kendrick Perkins is. She's not a former columnist, to my knowledge, like a Stephen A. Smith or a Jamel Hill or somebody like that. She's not a Bomani Jones. She's not, what's another example? Somebody like Colin Cowherd, or even like a Ryan Russillo or a Bill Simmons or someone like that. Like, that's not her. She's a host. She's like, if you're really into ESPN, she's like Tony Reale. She's like Kerry Champion, for example. Like, that's her lane. She can give quips here and there, and she can have her thoughts about whatever it is, but ultimately she's in the mold of like Joy Taylor, of Kerry Champion, of Molly Karam. Like, that's her lane. So it's more difficult to make money, or at least to stick around, if you're going to be principled in your own way, that way, than it is to be an opinionist. It works out being principled as a columnist if your principles align with those in power. And that's what Stephen A. found. It didn't work out for Jamel Hill when she called Trump a white supremacist. She was standing on her principles, but it didn't work out for her career because that wasn't what the people in power wanted to hear. Stephen A. Smith is way more adroit and smarter at navigating what is the limit of what I'm allowed to say given where I am. And even I will help ESPN because he says he wakes up every day thinking, how can I make ESPN more money? And how can I get a cut of that?
You see, this is interesting. And maybe we'll be at two opposite sides of it here. because I watched a video. Again, shout out to, I think this is a really good show. What's it called? Higher Learning with Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay. And they talked about Pat McAfee having Trump on their Veterans Day special broadcast. And then they took issue with the fact of like, you have a very divisive president and you never really take him to task with the controversial things that he's done. And I'm like, it's Pat McAfee. He's a sports guy. So similar to like,
But he's a Stephen A. He's a Stephen A.
Yeah, it's a Stephen A.
type.
And for me, I take no issue. If you're in sports, if you have a sports show and you invite the president on your sports show, I'm not expecting you as a sports person to be like, so ICE, how you're handling immigration and how you're handling Venezuela. No, you're a sports person. Like
You're gonna make it
no
blight.
grounds to be talking about that. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So I just think that it's asking too much for now. Every single person in every facet of life to take these policy leaders to task. Now the issue with Stephen Smith is this. So again, let's put that Michelle Beadle to one side. Is like, this is a classic case of like popularity getting to your head.
Pride before the fall type.
Yes. Does he fall?
People are praying on it.
Assuming that he falls. So are we praying for his downfall? So are we two blacks praying for his downfall? Because I don't think Stephen A. Smith will fall. I just think that he'll just fade, and there'll be like a new. Basically,
He might be
whether
too
it's
big
TikTok
to
or
fail,
something.
bro. Have you heard? You've heard that terminology, like
Yeah.
too big to fail.
Look,
ESPN have put so much into him that if Stephen
that's
A.
why
falls,
He wouldn't,
their
no.
network's dead.
He wouldn't fall or fail. There'll just be something newer, more interesting, and just much more exciting than him. So, but basically, Skip didn't fall. New stuff just came. Like all the smoke arrived. All the smoke was the end of Skip. Like, what's it called? Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart's show, Gil's show. So that's just what's so Skip didn't fall. Something new just came through.
The
so
athlete wave kind of
the
ushered him out. Yeah.
Started by all the smoke. Those are the pioneers that just ended Skip. So my thing for Stephen A. Smith though is
Go.
going into this whole political arena. I just think this is so dangerous. Like if I was advising him, I'm like, okay, Stephen A. Smith, like,
Why is it dangerous?
So let me unpack because that's a very good question. It's dangerous based on what political spectrum you're on. Which is what makes it very interesting. So let's say Stephen A. Smith was very liberal and more towards the left. Very dangerous. When you look at what most of your audience is, and when you just look at the political leanings of the hardcore sports fan, and I think that the real hardcore sports fan, I believe, is more right-leaning than left-leaning. Or if they're left-leaning, they're perhaps really unbothered. Again, the hardcore, not the casual, the hardcore sports fan. But hence why what Stephen A. Smith is doing is tricky because you say you're independent, but I see a lot more right-leaning than left-leaning from you. And I see you being a lot more, you take the left a lot more to task than you do the right. And it seems as if you glaze the right a lot more than any other spectrum that you have.
Can I ask a question?
Go for it.
Does that map on perhaps to his taking black athletes to task and him being less willing to engage white athletes? Do you think it maps
100%.
similarly?
100%. Because again, like, look, bro, like this, again, I am like a historian, a student of ESPN First Take, So that whole Kaepernick thing was interesting.
Terrell Owens.
So like in science, like they have the thing called the catalyst. Like the catalyst for like an experiment and everything. I believe that there was Stephen A before Terrell Owens and Stephen A after Terrell Owens.
A-T and like B. I'm trying to think of
No, no,
AD
no.
and
Oh,
BC.
no. Oh, no. Oh, no. BTO, ATO. BTO, ATO. You see,
Like BCE, BCE, and CE.
Yeah, yeah. So, like before that, Stephen A was okay. I'm having my thought. Once that happened, Stephen A was like, oh, okay. So this
So
is how you're not viewing
I need to get rid of Max. I need to expand and
Yeah, I need to expand, and I just need
gain more
Listen,
control.
No, it's very complicated. It is so complicated. Because I would love to just have a trip into Stephen A. Smith's mind the moment taping was done with the Terrell Owens episode.
Bro, let me pause you. I watch Bomani Jones's show. If there's any sports commentator out there that I rock with like 10 toes, it's Bomani. Because I appreciate the lens from which he looks at things. He looks at it from an economist lens, but he also grew up in, like, his parents are, so civil rights activists and Black Power. Like, so he has those tendencies. And he was working, and this happened. This episode dropped maybe last week or maybe earlier this week. He had a guest on, and he was he was using this as an analogy to get to somewhere else. But he was like, he actually said, "Do you remember when Terrell Owens, said that Max was blacker than Stephen A?" And they kind of laughed because both of the people were there at ESPN, and it was a passing line, but they were like, we didn't know exactly how to engage Stephen A after that moment in the office that day, because you could see he was so hot.
Yes.
So just that line, and then they went elsewhere. But I'm like, the rage that Stephen A. Smith had was so noticeable that even other people who were in the industry, in the office at the time, were like, Stephen A. was hot. And that's the word he used. He said he laughed. So Bomani left. He said Stephen A. was so hot, and he laughed, and that let me know, bro, that moment it did something, bro.
Because
it was key.
Which is why I feel so sorry for Max Kellerman, because you just pretty much, like you were
wrong place, wrong time, bro.
No. You were you were an unfortunate casualty of war, because it was like Max did nothing wrong. He did nothing wrong. Stephen A. Smith didn't have any issues with Max Kellerman before that incident. Once the incident happened, he created a scenario where he'd have an issue with him. This is what I believe happened. I believe that after that moment, Stephen A. just took issues with Max Kellerman. 100%.
I think Terrell Owens brought from Stephen A.'s subconscious the reality of what that whole conversation was. So that conversation the Colin Kaepernick thing was like years, damn near.
Yes, no, it was a long time. Yeah,
and Stephen A. was more on I would say, the black conservative approach, which is you need to get along to get along, or play along to get along. It's the same
Stoop
thing.
Your head to conquer. Yeah.
It's the same thing that he said to Michelle Beadle. You got to learn how to play the game, and if you're not playing the game correctly, then I'm going to call you out, because as a black man, we have to do what's right in the system, and we have to get where we want to go.
Yeah. from the streets of Hollis, Queens.
I got it from the gutter.
I'm a black man from the streets of Hollis, Queens.
Dude, the ESPN just ain't out here giving up jobs. So that's his line, and he's very into respectability politics, and you have to look the right way, wear the suit, work hard. It's we get it as, his people are from the Caribbean. Africans have the same disposition normally when they reach Western shores. It's like, bro, you play the game. Doctor, lawyer, engineer, work hard, put your head down, don't be a nuisance, and get where you need to go. And he was using that same logic with Colin Kaepernick. It's like, bro, you don't need to be out here wearing the pig socks. Do you remember the socks with the pigs? Like, he's like, you're antagonizing the whites, and that's not going to get you where you need to go. You got to be smarter. You got to play the game. And Max was like, it's not that big of a deal, bro. Like, if that's the thing that's going to stop, if saying that cops who kill people are racist and using that with your socks is a problem, then the problem isn't you. The problem is the cops that are killing people. Like it was that. So that conversation lasted so long that I'm sure in Stephen A's subconscious there was a thing of like, bro, Max is kind of he's flanking me to the more, I don't know, liberal isn't even the right word, but he's beating me to the woke position, and he's making me, even though I don't necessarily believe these conservative viewpoints, he's making me on this show look like an Uncle Tom because I'm not riding with the black quarterback as much as this white man seems to be. And then
I disagree.
And then
No.
Terrell Owens came and put it on Front Street.
I disagree.
Because he was like, bro, because
No.
Terrell said, I'm in the street, Stephen A.
No. For me, I disagree.
And it almost seemed like Max blacker than you.
No. Stephen A. Smith, I think he never even thought that whole Uncle. In his mind was no. In his mind was no. I agree. I agree with you in the terms of okay, this is awkward. I'm the black guy.
Bro.
I'm not the black guy not defending this black athlete during the racial times, and this is the white guy defending. But I think it just stopped there of like, okay, this is a bit awkward. He never thought that how would this be seen
By black
out in the
people.
streets and in the world by black people. Remember, this is a rich black guy, so your circle is
Also,
small.
Stephen A. loves blackness. He genuinely loves black people.
So my thing though is, which is why it was such a nuke for Terrell Owens, because once Terrell Owens just dropped that nuke, Stephen A. now knew, because perception-wise, it is so bad for a black guy to say this white guy is seen as blacker than you on the streets. That's just a nuke. And to say that on live television broadcast, it's a nuke. It's a nuke.
It's
so
bad.
from that point on, Stephen A. just switched. He switched.
He switched on Max for sure, but I don't think he's switched his political lens or his view.
No. Okay, no.
But he's switched the way he's moved in the industry for sure.
The way I feel that from that moment on, something within Stephen A. just changed, just like innately changed, because in his mind he was like, oh, so this whole black, which is why like it is so because it's like it's confusing. At one point it's I'm black. At another point, let me go and sit with Bill O'Reilly and Cuomo and interview Trump.
Kunmo.
Yeah, so
That's what it's.
good for it. So it's basically but to the original point is Ehud versus Stephen A. So again, so I think my mom says this to me. So every time I have a first day of school, my mom always says this to me. You only get a first impression once. You can't get a second first impression. So the first impression people have of you is what they'll take with you for the remainder of your school. So be very careful of the first impression you give onto people. The first impression the world has of Stephen A. Smith is this extremely loud, funny, almost clownish TV sports commentator. The world didn't know of you when you walked to the Philadelphia Inquirer. The world did not know. The world didn't know of you as a journalist. The world did not know. The world's first impression was, oh, this extremely magnetic, flamboyant.
A wrestler, like The Rock or something.
Basketball commentator. So to now go from that into politics, that's tough.
But
That's tough.
it's literally like The Rock trying to do a dramatic role. Or like Ric Flair, if he wanted to do like, oh, I'm going to become an actor and I'm going to do Lawrence. Imagine Ric Flair as like Peter O'Toole and Lawrence of Arabia. It's like, bro, it doesn't match. I don't believe you.
Basically, a great example is this, but that's really good. You've seen comedians go into drama. Best example is Robin Williams. Comedian, with actor. But a very quick example, Jim Carrey. People have never truly taken Jim Carrey seriously. Like even when he did Truman Show or Man on the Moon, this is the guy that was talking out of his ass in his future, bro. So once you're talking out of your ass, it's going to be very hard for us to not take you fully seriously.
Bro,
You know,
you're the mask, bro. Like, yeah, nobody's
you're
taking you
Ace Ven-
seriously.
No, forget that. Ace Ventura. That's just like
Do you know who's actually done it the best? I feel like is like Steve Carell. I feel like when I watch him in dramatic roles at this point, I believe it.
Was he an outlandish comedian? No.
But he's Michael Scott from The Office, and I feel like that role is kind of harder to get over. Like Gervais tries this as well, but you're David Brent at the end of the day.
That kind of comedy is still nuanced,
within bounds,
toned down. That isn't Ace Ventura, where this is complete clownery. So to go from Ace Ventura to serious is a lot harder to go from Michael Scott to serious. It's a lot easier to transition.
Has Eddie Murphy ever tried like a serious dramatic role?
Dreamgirls is the closest, I think, and that's it.
I'm trying to think of in the African parlance, like who's somebody that's tried. Like I couldn't see Tommy Davidson trying to do like no,
impossible.
A serious dramatic. Jamie Foxx, I guess. But even his original comedy wasn't out there. It was never Ace Ventura, was it?
I mean, in Living Color, when I forgot the name of the woman that he dresses up as and everything. So that's probably the closest one is Jamie Foxx, because that was pretty out there.
Fair enough. But anyway, like I feel like it's not 1-to-1, obviously, because nothing is like that. But Stephen A. going from what I would consider to be a more wrestling personality, there's something that Carl and I talked about recently, where it's like, when people are making these documentaries, there's MJ and then there's Michael Jordan, there's Diego and then there's Maradona, there's Magic and then there's Irving Johnson, there's Alex Rodriguez and there's A-Rod. I feel like when Stephen A, when that light turns on and he's on sports, there is probably Stephen A and then just Steve from Hollis, Queens.
Yes.
And I feel like when he tries to get into the political lane, that's obviously when the light turns on, something happens and you're going to get some of Stephen A. But he wants to be more taken seriously as Stephen A. Smith, the byline. Like, this should be taken seriously. But once we know you as the Stephen A. character that's shouting with Skip Bayless, it's very hard to now take these very serious political matters and have it filtered through your particular brand of commentary. It's a bit it's jarring in that sense.
No. But like, even when I'm seeing him talk about politics, I'm like, wait a minute, Stephen A. Smith is talking about something serious? I find it hard to take him seriously.
Do you know? Oh no, you're a good person to talk to about this, actually. So you try similar things. You have you have a personality that people wouldn't know behind the scenes. So this is a frontward. You wear the shades, and there's a whole thing.
No. Like know me without the shades.
But this is the thing: when you're talking on your second channel about serious political issues, whether it's Palestine, you still have the shades on. It's still what Have Hope would say about this particular topic, but it's a bit.
Do you know what is so crazy? I was literally thinking about this today.
Oh wow, okay.
So what I was saying was that, so it's called, what's it called? It's called the Vibes Hangout. And my thing though is, it's pure vibes. I feel that I can talk confidently about two things: football and movies. Those are the two things that, boom. Politics is just my viewpoints. I don't want you to take this to the bank. I don't want you to now say this. No. Vibes is like, bro, we talk about anything. And this is where we're just talking as people. Every single human being on earth has a politic. Everyone does. Even if your politic is nothing, that is still a politic. So everyone has a politic. Yeah. So my thing though is, bro, we're just talking as human beings with our points of view. Don't take it to the bank, and just realize that this is half up with the football guy and the movie guy. But guys talking about politics and everything, it's just me talking. So, but the difference is, Stephen A. Smith wants you to take him seriously about politics, whereas I don't. I'm just like, come here, vibe out, chill out, go through. We're just here, just chilling out as just amongst friends. It's nothing serious. But Stephen A. Smith said, no, this is serious. I have my, and which is why it's tricky, because nobody has ever done this. What major sports commentator also has a political show running in tandem? I don't think that has ever happened.
The name that just came into my mind is crazy. Jason Whitlock.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, well, he doesn't count. Uncle Rockers doesn't, like, raccoons don't count, bro.
Yeah, I just think it's funny that, Whitlock does a lot of political stuff within sports, and they do not get along at all.
Oh, no.
So, but they want to broach similar spaces. I can't really think of anybody who does sports plus politics equally. So again, there are people like Bomani and Jamel Hill and those guys that they do dovetail sport and politics, and they do it quite well for me. But on the scale that Stephen A. Smith seems to want to be doing it, going on, so like for instance, Bomani, you'll catch him on like CNN.
Yeah.
At like one of the round tables discussing whatever the politics are. But having his own political show on CNN or on YouTube, I can't think of anybody that's actually done that in this way. And that's still doing the full-time plus at ESPN, then doing his own serious political show. It's an ambitious project that dipping your leg into the hot water of American politics in this moment where everything is supercharged.
Yes.
Coming out as a centrist is almost a tell that you're right wing. Coming out as a moderate is almost a tell that like you're more right leaning. And if you're on the left, then you have to be over there, with me. Like Stephen A., you can't straddle the fence, because in straddling the fence, you just get fence up your ass. Like there's no real benefit to this except his own ego. This is probably what he always wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like if you asked him at the initial, what do you want to be? This is probably his master plan from the beginning. Yes. I want to take sports because that's what that's what's available to me.
It's a jump off.
And I'm going to leverage this into discussing politics. He tried it before. He was on Fox News before. It's how he's friends with Hannity and them.
Yeah.
Because he left ESPN and tried to spin it into Fox News, and it didn't work. And that's the resurrection. That's where he says that Skip saved him, because he was always able to use sports as a fallback. And that's how he got into First Take, first in the rotation.
Oh, no.
And then Stephen A. realized we have something special here. And then it triggered sports again. But his goal has always been this. It's just that now he's more powerful.
So before, because we need to get into MJ, last half hour. Stephen A. needs to come out and just say, I'm a conservative. But you know why he doesn't want to say this?
Because he loves black people.
It's going to alienate his black fan, which is what makes it so disingenuous. Because you're literally straddling the fence. You're like, I need the black people, but I really am conservative. Like, I really want to suck up to daddy, but I also need the black fan base as well.
Orange? Is the daddy orange?
Yes. Daddy orange, man. So, okay, look, man.
Oh, yeah, go.
MJ. So can I say this right? Okay, so no, quick question. Have you seen the teaser?
No.
Did you watch it?
No.
I
don't want to watch it.
Good. I watched 15 seconds and I pressed stop.
I've seen still images. I'm like, I've seen a prosthetic nose. I'm done already.
No. That's what said I was done. So I just said, look, what? Let me give it a chance. I got up to the prosthetic nose and I pressed stop. So I haven't watched the full thing. I watched like about 15 seconds. Okay, here's my thing here. Listen, me and my sister, we had like a long convo about this.
Oh, man.
And my sister is like, she
loves Michael. You've told me.
Okay, I'll tell them how much my sister loves Michael Jackson. So when Invincible came out, like his last album came out, it was released in like different colors. Mm-hmm. and my sister bought all the different colors. It's the same album, and she bought like the red one, the blue one, the thingy one, and everything one.
Didn't you tell me that you guys had tickets to the tour that she bought, or you bought those?
No, bro. I woke up at like 7 a.m. and I literally lubricated the refresh button. I lubricated that, and I finally got it, and I got it for all of us, all four of us, and we still have it as a souvenir. I got it for all four of us. Yeah. So my thing is, I mean, my sister, we had a long convo about this, and because I was saying to my sister that, do you know what kind of story that Michael Jackson is? Let me just say this, because before we get to the racial stuff, let's just talk about Michael Jackson. Before we get racial stuff, Child Prodigy Jackson 5 Off the Wall is one film.
Thriller is its own.
No. Wait, hold on. I'll get them. MJ, I'll get them. No, okay.
You put thoughts.
Bro, no, you're right. Child Prodigy, Joe Jackson, and how Joe Jackson rolled. Jackson 5 Off the Wall is a 3-hour film. Boom. Thriller, Bad, is a 3-hour film. Boom. White Mike and that whole trajectory is another film. Boom. It's 3-hour films. We're talking about this is the Lord of the Rings. It's the Lord of the Rings.
It's a trilogy.
It's a trilogy. This is the musical Lord of the Rings. But
now you put like Gandalf as Michael Jackson in my mind. Just a white ass mommy. I was like,
that's crazy. That's great. So look, my thing though is, okay, this that. So my sister said that this, if you really want to do the film about Michael Jackson, you have to talk about it. And you've got to talk about the psychological stuff. Obviously, see, the obvious stuff is that, talk about, children with the kids. Did you not do it? That's the obvious stuff. No, the real stuff is, why did you and your family change your nose?
The whole family, bro.
The whole family. Now, do you know that guy? Is it Honora?
Yes.
So, his wife's mother has vitiligo.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so his wife's mother has vitiligo. So, I know someone with vitiligo. Vitiligo doesn't change the shape of your nose. Vitiligo doesn't change the shape of your mouth. So when guys say, oh, no, but he had a vitiligo. No. I know people who have vitiligo.
Doesn't change bone structure.
It doesn't change your bone structure. So what this film needs to show me is, why did this man change his nose? And if you want to keep it 1,000% stack, is PSTD, post-slave traumatic disorder.
Post-traumatic slave. You can do that.
Okay, fine. Okay, whatever you want. Okay,
no, but I hear you. I hear
okay. So,
I'm with you.
Self-hate. White supremacy.
Yep.
Because Michael Jackson and the Jackson family felt that, and don't take my words for it. I told you, I am a Michael Jackson. I come from a family of Michael Jackson historians. My brother literally did a whole Michael Jackson thing. My sister is an MJ. We are a Michael Jackson obsessive family. One of the most formative memories I have in my entire life is sitting down in Nigeria watching Motown 25 and him doing the moonwalk. And I remember once.
Do your parents like Mike as well? Or are they kind of borderline?
Just because they're like from a much older generation, so they're like, okay, it's MJ's there.
Yeah.
So I remember one time where we were eating dinner, and this is young me. I stood up on the chair, grabbed my crotch, and did whoa, and my mom was like, "Yo, get up from the." But that's what the impression that he had. So my thing though is, and this is what I've said, and this may be controversial, so let me even say it here again. There are two Michael Jacksons. There's Black Mike and there's a White Mike.
Oh boy.
Now, let me kick it a stack.
I'm sure we've done this already, but go
Oh
for
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
White Mike has made some of my favorite tracks of all time,
You are not
bro.
alone. I'm kidding.
Dangerous, Break of Dawn, Heaven Can Wait. These are tracks that I have on my playlist. And Bad, no, see, you know what? Bad is White Mike.
Light
Bad is
skin
White
mic.
Mike.
There's 3 mics really. There's dark mic, light mic, white mic.
Have you seen the? Have you seen? No, 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 no. Have you seen the cover of Bad?
Yeah,
That's a
that's
white
light
man.
skin. He's light skin.
That's a
Pull it
no, no,
up.
no,
Pull it up. Pull it up. Let the people judge. He's a light skinned man. That's a mixed race man. That's you. Now you have to contrast this with like Mike by the end, and that's white Mike.
Bro. Okay. All right.
He's light skinned. He's light skinned.
Okay. Did you know what it was?
He's
Okay.
Virgil van Dyke, bro. In that picture, isn't he? Yeah, that's Virgil.
Okay. Okay. No. Do you know what it is? Okay. You have to use context. Imagine living in a country like Nigeria where everyone is black.
Yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah.
and as a black country of white people, always want to say black guy. Then we see that album cover. In our minds of Nigerians, oh, he's white.
I
So-
experienced this when I went to Uganda slightly. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
So if you live in a country where everybody is black, you don't see any white people at all. That guy is a white man for us. So my
But
thing
if you
is-
put the history mic,
yeah, okay, you know that can come. That's
a different thing.
So my thing though is, okay, let's. I'm not. People think I'm lying. I'm not watching this film. I am not watching this film.
I'm not going to the theater to see it. I'll watch
I
it.
am not watching this film. Theater, home video, illegal, legal, whatever you want. I'm not watching this film. I'm not. Because here's my thing. So the Beatles get 3 films. The Beatles. But Michael Jackson doesn't get 3 films.
The
That's
Beatles
the-
got a 3-parter, or just 3 films in total.
I think no. I think it's 3 films. It's been done in 3 films. I believe it's in 3
Okay.
films. Wait. How many films is the Beatles movie? Sam Mendes. What the? Hold on. Yeah, because I think
You
it's,
type actually very fast. I'm impressed.
bro. Sam Mendes is directing 4 interconnected films about the Beatles.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm a touch typer. It is what. No, so you can do 4 films for the Beatles, but my guy only gets to 1 film. But here's my thing: when Jafar Jackson, that's his nephew. Okay, you know what? Let's just deal with this, right? Okay, let's stop all this crap. That's picture with the nose, bro. I almost every other day, I am watching Michael Jackson videos or listening to Michael Jackson. So I know very well what he looked like in all of the stages of his career. And I am a Black Mike expert. So I know everything about Black Mike. So I'm watching Instagram videos, everything about documentaries about Black Mike. His nose did not look like that. So in a very sick, messed up way, are you mocking his nose? Because that was a point that my brother made, because my brother was like, so remember, Joe Jackson used to tease him, Mike Jackson, about his looks and about his nose. So he was always self-conscious about his looks, specifically his nose. So my thing though is, when you make his nose like that, which looks ridiculous, what kind of commentary are you trying to make about it? So if you're not going to talk about the self-hate, the anti-blackness, the plastic surgery, what are we doing here? And a point you made very well is, this is being made by the Jackson family. Look at what they look like. Look at how much plastic surgery that they've done.
They can't, because to discuss Michael's psychological trauma would be to discuss their own, and that's putting yourself on Front Street. So I can't imagine. My issue with just the narrative or the medium, of biopics or biography through film is they try to do too much. So as you say, Michael's life, if it was done correctly, is like a 5-part film.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you partitioned it into 3 to make a trilogy, but if we're doing it correctly, because his life was so vast and expansive, you would do up until childhood through the Jackson 5.
Yes.
Then you would probably do the from when he went solo, probably up until the Pepsi incident, or somewhere around there. Then you would get late 90s or early 90s, just through the 90s. Then we would need Court Case, Mike.
2000.
Hanging the baby off the thing, Mike. And then you would need a whole film to discuss Sony, to discuss buying the Beatles catalog, to discuss like that later part of Michael's life.
So much.
By the time he dies, and then the aftermath of his death, I think probably also deserves a little bit of screen time. So if you're doing it properly, it shouldn't be a film. It should be like a television series that's on Netflix, that's in 10 parts, that's an hour each, and you get to investigate
but no. You don't. No. For someone like a Michael Jackson, it's going to be a motion picture.
I get, but that's what I'm saying. If you're doing it properly, it needs time, it needs investment.
Several films.
But this is the issue that I have with biopic anyway. It's the same thing. It's why I don't like the Malcolm X film by Spike Lee. It does too much. It goes from literally beginning to end. It's very difficult to do that within the confines of 2 hours because everything is just a snapshot. You're just getting all of these vignettes that are pasted together, but you don't really get to nail down time to where by the end you feel emotional because it's Malcolm and you know historically what he means to black people. When people watch this film, they're going to feel emotional because it's Michael and they're going to feel an attachment to Mike. But is the film actually going to be good? Probably not. What would be good is to nail down what timeline, if Jafar is going to be the actor, does he best represent for Michael? And probably we're looking at, you could probably make a thriller movie with how Jafar looks. That would be a good Michael Jackson film. How do you transition from leaving your brothers and going solo, and then the trajectory of making arguably, well, not even arguably, the best-selling album of all time? You can do that within 2 hours, 30 minutes. But try to go from the very beginning to, did they show White Mike? How do you even do that?
I haven't seen the whole No, but see.
You can't.
Daddy,
Are they going to bleach him?
No. Now you're asking, Daniel, this film, it can't work.
They need to find a white woman to play Mike. They need to go get Emma Stone or somebody.
Yeah, you have to understand that. Imagine if, let's say you show this to like a 14-year-old who has no concept of Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
So a 14-year-old is watching a film and he's like, yo, mom, dad, why is his nose different? Oh, yo, mom, dad, I swear he was black in the first 15 minutes. Why is he white now? You have to explain that. So a 14-year-old is watching a film, it's like, oh, his nose has changed.
Do I need to recalibrate my monitor? Like, what's up with the TV?
Wait, am I watching the same film? I swear he was an African-American to begin with. Now he's a Anglo-Saxon Caucasian now. Like, what's happening? You've got to explain that.
Like, why is Jennifer Lawrence on my screen? Like, I don't.
Yes, why am I looking at Emma Stone here? I don't understand. Like, what's happening? I thought there's a black guy. But my thing though is, it's not going to explain that.
No,
it's not going to explain that because it's the Jackson family behind this. That is Jermaine's son. And do you really believe that the Jackson family is going to go into a guy's self-hatred?
I know it's gonna find a natural ending point and it's gonna fade to black and then it's gonna give a year.
Crap. No, because
it's gonna put it's gonna go from 1977 and then it's gonna show 1983 and it's just gonna be like he's changed. No explanation.
Because my thing though is, I'm sorry, Michael Jackson changed his features because he wanted to look white. Because he felt that in order to be the beacon of music and performance, he had to look perfect. And bro, this is out of his mouth.
Ooh.
In his Oprah interview, Oprah talks about, oh no, people talk about you doing plastic surgery, and he made the point of like, I'm chasing perfection. So Michael Jackson, in your point, having Eurocentric features
Is
is
perfect.
perfection.
Now, I do believe that Mike had vitiligo. Like, I do believe he had
No, no,
that
no, no, no.
disease.
What do you believe? He did have vitiligo. That's
So
a fact.
no, like I'm just making this clear because it almost the way you said it made it sound like like he was just bleaching to bleach.
Oh no, no, no. Of course, he had vitiligo.
At first, I think he was doing the makeup thing where he was probably filling it in like, oh, these white spots, I'm filling it in with brown makeup. But then by the time it was degenerating the melanin in his skin, he was like, bro, it's gone too far. So instead of white, why don't we just bleach me? But then you have to think about, what does an African look like bleached? It doesn't look natural. So now he's like, okay, now I have this white canvas and we already have these psychological issues and I've already changed my nose enough. What's another one? And I forget who I said, I forget where I heard this from or who said it, but it's like the first time you do plastic surgery, it actually works, which is the dangerous part.
Yes.
So like if I wanted to change my nose, which it's fine, but if I wanted to make my nose more African, which would be my plastic surgery, like they could do it and it could work the first time. But then it's like, you know what? I need to change this and that. But now you're not dealing with the original flesh. You're dealing with now something that's already been altered. And it just devolves from there to where you get someone that looks like, rest in peace, Joan Rivers, where it's just like, wow, like, bro, that went a bit too far. And there's a whole bunch of examples, none of which I can say, that just go too far. That's one example that I just can't say. But it goes too far. So I feel like originally he probably did get some form of psychological relief, like, oh, I look better and it is what it is. But now it's like, bro, plus the vitiligo, and I have this nose because my dad's been telling me that I'm ugly my whole life, and my whole family is changing their nose. Even Janet is changing her nose. Janet was beautiful and changing her nose. Janet from Good Times was apparently every teenage boy's crush in like the 1970s.
Like when she looked normal, she looks amazing.
But
she looks amazing.
It goes deeper. There's something in the brain that
no. Because my thing, do you know why it's so hot? This is why it's so hot for.
Even more than anything, bro. He changed his lips. Vitiligo does not change lips or nose.
But see, this is what was so
even your
hot.
hair texture, my guy. Yeah. Like you flung.
No. But see, this is what was so hurtful about the whole thing was. Do you know how powerful it was for someone who looked like Michael Jackson to have the talent that he had? Because my thing is that
go.
Michael Jackson was he just looked like a regular black guy. Because see, if let's say you're a woman, the guy who had those features that would be attractive to women was always Jermaine Jackson. He was the guy, he was the front man, the ladies' man, and the guy who, okay, this is the kind of guy who you put at the front. Michael, he had a little bit of acne here and there, but he just looked just like a regular guy.
Yep.
But just this regular guy had a 1 in a billion talent. Do you know how powerful that was to possess that? So whenever I just see like White Mike, I'm like, I don't recognize that guy. Like, I don't connect with that guy. Like, I don't. Like, I just don't. Because
can I ask you a hard question?
Yeah, go for it.
So obviously Michael was famous as Black Mike.
Yes.
And as the Michael Jackson historian, I want you to piece together all the information that you know and come up with an answer if you can. Like chat GPT it for me. Do you think Michael Jackson reaches the level of worldwide acclaim that he reaches without getting light skin and eventually turning to white? Like, it is his appeal in places like Europe, Asia, South America, the Caribbean, outside of Black America, even Africa to an extent. Is his appeal beyond Gary, Indiana? Does part of that have to do with him getting light skinned? If we look at how, for example, like how Asian, anime, how they draw people, how there's this thing if you look at like how South Korean photographers color their images where like it's like, bro, that person is not that white, but the color grading, they want people to be more white. Skin bleaching in India and Asia, on the continent of Africa and the Caribbean, like, is there something that Michael Jackson, his fame, turning white was an accelerant, if anything?
No. Basically, I'll give the real answer here. So you have to not look at context. So you look at what the world was in the 80s and in the 90s. In the 80s and the 90s, black wasn't cool. That whole thing of black is beautiful was not a thing in the 80s or the 90s. 80s and 90s was white, 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 white. Because remember, rap's first big year was 95. That was like rap's, like rap's first big in terms of like, okay, this is now rap internationally, worldwide. Right? Not just within the rap cycles, but nationally, because for me it was 2 years, 95 and 98. That's when rap now, this is now a global thing. Really? 98, Eminem tax. So for black people, it was very much about white. So for Michael Jackson's viewpoint, like, bro, I'm looking at the world. I'm looking at, I was born in the late 50s. The concept of black. Now, I am the international superstar. So within his own mind, his family, and their fucked up viewpoints.
Psychosis.
Fucked up viewpoints, fucked up psychosis, messed up subconscious is in order to be perfect in talent and in feature, I've got to be white. So I'm I'm chasing perfection here. And Michael Jackson was the consummate to perfection. Again, I've watched all the documentaries. When you look at him doing his choreography and everything, he demanded perfection.
Layered vocals.
Bro, Motown 25, if you look at that, so to go on YouTube and look at it again, when he does the moonwalk, he slips a little. He just does a little slip. Afterwards, he was mortified. Like after that performance, he was like, oh my gosh, how did I slip? I was so, and he was just like a wreck. And then a kid then said, oh wow, you were really amazing. And I was like, oh wow. Because in his mind, it was like, I messed up. I messed up because he had to win to be perfect. But for the rest of us, like, wow, we've never seen a performance like that in the world. So the guy was a perfectionist. So I've got to be a perfectionist within my craft, but I've also got to be a perfectionist within my features as well. And the sad, messed up reality was that he felt that perfection was European. Perfection was narrow nose, Pinocchio nose, pointy nose, and thin lips.
You know, I think I'm more asking, not did Michael Jackson tailor himself to become a bigger star? I think I'm more asking that the trauma that the Jackson family went through and that Michael suffered to just alter himself, was the world more willing to accept a fucked up white Mike than it would have been a Michael Jackson that never had Villa Lago? Like, he obviously his talent would have demanded that he's a star, but the king of pop, the biggest superstar that's almost ever existed in terms of music, I think the world saw a white man or a white facing image and was more ready to accept that than it would have been a Prince, or it would have been whoever black with that equal amount of talent.
So, Sissy, James Brown. James Brown was huge, but not like Mike. And what was James Brown? That's soul music. That's black music. So the world could just put him into that box of, okay, that's just, James Brown is just there. Mike was, I am the number one. I am the global guy.
Yeah.
So let's change history. He never had vitiligo. And let's say he remained black. I am not sure whether he's as big as he would be.
That's what I'm asking.
Because I think the world is, for you to be that pop star. James Brown was not a pop star. He was soul music. To be the pop star, popular music, mainstream music, you have to look a certain way. And I think that for a guy with this nose, this lips, to be the pop star, I don't think that works. I don't think that works out. I'll give you an amazing example. You will love this example. So, around 2000s, both Usher and Justin Timberlake were like really, really big. And Timberlake was now becoming really, really strong. And they were doing this interview with Michael Jackson. And they said to Michael Jackson, "Oh yeah, so who do you think can like carry the torch, the mantle from you?" And then this white interviewer says, "Oh yeah, no, I think Justin Timberlake seems to be like the next in line." And Michael Jackson was like, "Oh well, I think Usher is actually pretty good as well and everything." Oh no, since Darren, no, now we're going into great territory right now. Darren, do you know what they want? Do you know what will end us? You know what will finish us? A white man or a white woman that can dance.
Okay.
Imagine if Timberlake was a great dancer.
Justin Bieber was a great dancer, or
No, he wasn't.
No. I'm saying imagine if Justin Bieber was.
Imagine if Justin Bieber was a great dancer. Imagine if Timberlake was. If that happens, that's it. All they've ever wanted is a white man or a white woman doing popular music that is as good a dancer as Michael Jackson. That's all they ever wanted.
Because my mind is going to K-pop for the specific reason of it's very black coded. They're basically taking African American music and remixing it over Korean language.
Yeah.
But the aesthetic that it has, and I think the reason why K-pop becomes so popular, even though people aren't speaking Korean, is obviously there's the anime aspect of the rest of the world liking those kind of Japanese, Korean style cartoons. But also I do feel like it's packaging black music in a white or closer to white aesthetic.
Yeah.
And that's part of the appeal. Plus, they are able to dance.
Yes.
Asians have taken over breakdancing, I think. Like obviously it's an African art form, but they've taken it over. Like the same way that jazz is now more or less like a white art form, damn near. Like a lot of the popular jazz musicians. J. Cole talked about it, where it was like, I went to this jazz festival and there's a bunch of white people. It's like, yeah, like that used to be our shit, but things have changed. The same has happened with that specific element of hip hop, the breakdance. So the question I was asking was that one, is that if everything was normal and nothing happened to his face, nothing happened to his skin, and he still had the talent, because the Jackson 5 didn't have any of that as far as I know, outside of the trauma of Joe Jackson beating the shit out of his kids when they sing a C when they should be singing a D flat or whatever it is. Like that aside, can he reach the pinnacle of what the This Is It tour would have been, or what the Dangerous tour was, or what all of those tours, like the history, all of that? Like, I don't feel like the world was ready to accept Michael as black number one superstar in the 80s and 90s. And then the moment he begins to lighten, people in other parts of the world are more like, I can listen to this Michael.
No. Let me give you the real answer. Whenever you see, like on a news article, just what they pick as a picture of Michael Jackson, what do they always pick? Do they ever pick Thriller Mike? Do they ever pick Off the Wall Mike? They always pick bad and post bad. So that already gives you your answer. Bro, there are a myriad of mics that they can choose. You never... there's several mics you can choose. Like, bro, it's
Myriad
a
of
bouquet.
Mics is the title of the pod. Myriad of Mics.
Yeah, that's the title. It's crazy. But, so my thing though is, why do they pick... Because I remember distinctly the front of the newspaper the day after he died. And I remember thinking to myself that, why did they pick this picture of Michael Jackson?
Yeah.
Why would they pick this picture? Because if anything, if I was an editor, I would pick young Mike, child prodigy. Like, if there's any picture that encapsulates what Mike's about for me, is the child prodigy.
You know the album cover of "Got to Be There"
Oh yes, with his like little cap thing.
with the cap. Yeah, like that's the image I see
Mike.
when I think of Mike.
That's for me. That's Michael Jackson.
Or
That's Mike.
the off the wall where he's in the suit.
That's my wallpaper on my phone. On my phones, that's my wallpaper on my phone. Is off the wall Mike. That's my wallpaper.
So those two, but then if I'm really thinking about the long term of Mike, like by the time he's reaching the end of his life in what 08, 09, somewhere there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that Mike, it's nobody else looked like him. So if you just want instant recognition of Michael Jackson, I can't see like why that particular Mike would be the one that you use, because it's instantly recognizable. Because what have you done to yourself, my guy? So nobody else looked like him, with the black, the perm and the smaller nose and the thin lips that looked like he had lipstick or something. I don't know what was going on there. It was just very strange, man.
It's no. I mean, no, the whole Michael thing. It's ultimately.
It's unfortunate.
No. Here's the thing. This film is going to be a celebration. The Michael Jackson story is a tragedy.
Oh, for sure.
It's a tragedy. Now, a tragedy has many high moments, but it's a tragedy of how he died, of what he did to his face, of his self-hate, of his rejection of blackness, then trying to go back to blackness after it's already too late. It's a tragedy.
I am sympathetic to that, though.
100%, of course I am.
No, I'm not saying you're not. I'm just, the more I think about it, I'm he grew up in such a particular bubble and in a particular way with those parents, with that
Look at
talent.
what his dad looks like. Look at what his siblings. LaToya Jackson looks like a character from
goodness.
Disneyland. Basically, LaToya, like Jen Jackson has someone. LaToya Jackson doesn't have a nose.
Like how
She
are
doesn't
you,
have a nose anymore.
like, no, I don't want to be crass, but I do want, like, how are you breathing sometimes?
I have no idea.
It's so crazy. So that family went through so much, and the children went through so much, that I sympathize deeply with how Michael's life went. Having Villa-Lago is not his fault. That's just random, 1 in a million. Maybe not 1 in a million, but 1 in whatever rate.
Yeah, it's a rare disease.
And now you see medication for it, where it can stop the spread, or it can keep you holding your melanin. In the 80s, there was probably nothing that you could take or nothing you could do. So, in the 70s and 80s anyway.
No. But my main thing, which is the point, vitiligo had nothing to do with you feeling that I have to.
But that's deeper. That goes to his family, because even the people that didn't have Villa-Lago in his family still alter their features,
change their nose and everything in their faces.
So that goes to family trauma. It goes to African trauma. It goes to white supremacy, the image of whiteness, what you think beauty is. That's a deeper conversation for all black people. But they had the money and the means to go and alter themselves.
Daniel, that's the film. That is the film I want to watch. I'm sorry. I don't want to watch a celebration of like, oh, remember bad, or remember the time. No, I don't want to see that. See, I already have the music video.
You want to get into the root.
I don't, bro. I know the story of all the music videos. I know those stories. I don't need the film. The story I want to see is that story. This psychological trauma. That's the story of Mike I want to see.
And it's so interesting because a lot of the stories you hear, like the one that Magic Johnson told at the funeral about the bucket of KFC and all that kind of stuff, like,
oh yeah.
There's still, like, I don't want to be crass, but there's still an N-word in there. Like, there's still a black man in there. Like, there was a piece of African in him, if that makes sense. We're going from lower to higher in that ranking, but
no. What's it called? You can't change your soul.
And that's why the music, from child to the end, the soul is what's making that music and what's connecting.
Again, I don't want to be rude. I have love for all my people of no color. But a man of no color can't make Invincible. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's only a black man can make that kind of piece. And again, I all love for my people of no color. I love my people of no color. I love you guys.
The point I'm getting to is that the intentionality and the feeling of the music, obviously it changes because he's getting older and he's going through new experiences. But the feeling that the music gives, that his voice register, it really never changed because of the way he talked. I'm sure you've heard that, like his voice was deeper.
Oh no!
He kept the high voice.
An act. That was an act, bro.
He kept the high voice, so that way, from one of his singing coaches, he said that he could hit those high notes that he was hitting as a kid because he kept his voice up here, so that way he could really get into that register, you know. But it was a voice training mechanism, allegedly. But then that again, it goes to childhood trauma, and I'm sure do you know this, like it normally happens with girls because unfortunately they're the ones who are more often or not touched as children. But whenever trauma happens to children, they sometimes keep the voice register.
Oh yeah. Oh,
so if you sometimes women who were molested as children, they have like the voice of a children because the trauma captures them as a 7-year-old, as an 8-year-old, and people have theorized that maybe Mike was talking like this because of so much stress that happened to him as a kid that he was just never
a cycle.
And then if you think about it's not, but that's not his fault. And then if you think about
bro,
he made a whole fucking Neverland ranch with roller coasters and candy everywhere.
Look, the guy was. Can I say something messed up? And you can choose to answer not, and I'd rather you choose not to answer. If Joe Jackson wasn't as messed up as he was, do we get Michael Jackson? Do we get the Jackson 5? Probably
not, because it's like you won't know this guy. His name was Todd Marinovich. He was a quarterback. I think won a first-round draft pick or something like that for the Oakland Raiders in like the 80s or something. He got to that position because he was a left-handed quarterback, and those are rare things in that time. But he threw the ball left-handed because his father, from a child, took his right arm and taped it behind his back to where he could only use his left hand, and then he became a left-handed quarterback. So it's like a Project Mbappe, but like to the extreme.
Yeah.
That's what Joe Jackson was doing with his children. He was Project Mbappeing project. Yes. He was like, he was going to make stars out of his children. You don't just get 5 children who are experts at singing and playing instruments by accident, so they just all come out knowing their scales. Like, no, that was beaten into them. To where they never really got a proper childhood, which is why Michael Jackson is out here.
Yes, Neverland.
For me, I don't think Michael Jackson was sleeping with children.
No, I don't.
I think he was trapped in the mind of an 11-year-old who never got to go to sleeping party or like sleepovers, and he was like with kids because they were like he felt that they were on the similar level, which is fucked up.
No.
But that's what he's going through.
Ever since this guy was 6 or 7, you were a superstar. Imagine if at single digits years old, you are a worldwide superstar and you're going to rehearsal, live show, TV show.
You're the lead as well.
Talent show, TV show, interview, live show, rehearsal. That was this guy's life. So the concept of a childhood didn't even exist. So
it didn't exist for him.
Of course, the guy was going to build a Neverland. We're like, bro, your childhood is on like, even other childhood stars, they had so much of a childhood. This unlike any other because what was very unique.
It went crazy. The fame of the Jackson 5 was so crazy, and he's a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, the lead singer.
You're the lead. You're the face. Of
you have your teenage brothers back there playing bass and guitar and harmonizing.
You are the face of.
Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. It's one of those.
Bro, at 7, 8 years old, you are the face of this group. So
that's worldwide.
Do you think Joe Jackson's going to be like, hey, Mike, you know what? You can go and play right now and everything. No, it's like, bro, you better get into the rehearsal booth and ensure that voice is key because we need you for that next live show.
And I'll beat you if you miss the notes.
I saw you miss that note, bro. So if you think you're going to come and watch cartoons, you have nothing coming. You are going to ensure that note is hit right. So I don't see that to mess up yet again on the next live show.
Which is the ultimate tragedy, because you can take that and map it exactly to why can't he sleep? Why can't he get to rest? What is the trauma in his mind that can't allow him to settle?
The guy is,
And that's why he's on propofol as a 50-something-year-old man, because he just can't rest.
Basically.
And that's matched with the perfection. I have to get it right. I have to get that dance right. So you're out here training in O2 Arena for 5 hours and you can't sleep.
no, let me see. My brother made an excellent point. You know why there'll never be another Michael Jackson?
Because there'll never be another Joe Jackson. Well,
Yes.
People will try, but it's not going to work the same way.
But the world has now changed. Remember, they grew up in the 60s. That's civil rights. That's racism. So the concepts of perfection, the concepts
Why'd
of
you say it like that?
bro, 100%, like the concepts of hard work and everything. Do you think that exists in the TikTok era? So do you think a Michael Jackson can be created in the TikTok era?
Do you
Impossible.
know another issue is back then there was actually funding in schools to learn instruments. So and the church obviously is another big factor where people aren't going to church, they're not learning to sing in the same way. So I don't think there'll ever be the set of circumstances that creates like that 1970s Midwestern in Detroit, Chicago, Gary, Indiana, Cleveland, like all of those black people that went north for the industrial jobs after like civil rights and stuff, like the Great Migration, where they land in the Rust Belt. That's why you see the Ohio Players, the Isley Brothers, the Jackson 5, all of those people that just went into the Midwest to get money. Like there's a reason why the 70s and the 80s was so rich in music. Even Minneapolis, if you look at the Minneapolis sound of Prince and Morris Time or Morris Day in the time, like that comes from a particular migration pattern of African people going from the South to, Indiana, Illinois, etc. So I don't think that's happening again. where you have, and you need 6, 7, 8 brothers or sisters.
Never.
People aren't even having that many children these days to have a 5, much less you probably get, this would be like a Jackson 2 or a Jackson 3.
No. The world has changed. Like
So much.
Well, we're living in a world where it's not about talents; it's about going viral.
No, Joe Jackson would be in jail
Oh yeah,
if you
no,
tried beating
That's
your
good, but-
children because they're not singing. You're in jail, sir.
No, what I'm saying is that the world right now, it's not about talent. It's about going viral. It's about being popular. It's about being controversial. So the concept of real talent doesn't exist in today's world. It doesn't. It's just about, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's shocking. Oh, that's what. Like, are the Paul brothers talented, or do they just know how to make interesting videos?
That's their talent, but they're not talented in the traditional sense. But they're talented in manipulating the algorithm, which is nuts.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, you know what? When I think of talent, I think MJ. I think Jordan.
Yeah, I know you think singing, you
I
think
Serena
drawing,
Williams.
you think dancing.
I think,
you think
with the Houston. I think Greg Calpullo, the artist. That's what I think of. Oh, this guy's talent. Oh, this
Nas
is
is talented. You know what I mean?
Nazia Jones, J Electronica. That's talent. My talent is I know how to manipulate the algorithm on YouTube. Okay. All right.
Can we go?
Yeah, man.
I'm
Yeah.
sad.
All right, man. Shout out to you guys, man. Leave a comment and hope we'll be back in for another one. One love, one love. We'll see you now. One love, one
Peace,
love, one
peace,
love.
peace, peace.
Peace.